Hey, what's up, pilots? It's MangYaLator coming to you with a guide on how to play Siege. And I'll just say this from the jump. If you see me doing things in the video, don't follow what I do. This is just my playstyle. I flank a lot, so don't do that. But basically, I guess I could start off with saying the AA is the most important thing in the game of Siege. Like, standing inside of the AA will make you win the game. Like, literally standing inside of it, not around it, not next to it, none of that. Because anything other than when the ship is in the air, standing in the AA, you're just hurting your team if you're doing anything else. Like me right now, yeah, I'm not hurting my team, I'm flanking, I'm distracting people and keeping them out of the AA. But I wouldn't advise doing this if you're not good at, I don't know, running like a little faggot. But yeah, basically, don't be scared to die. Like, if you're going to the AA, don't be scared to die. Like, literally just rush in with your team and go at it. And then just always be aware of your surroundings. Like, if most of your team is dead and there's 4 people at the AA, don't go in there by yourself, because you're one person and you're just gonna get fucking cream puffed in like 0.5 seconds, because that's what happens when you go against 1v4. It's not fucking Call of Duty. But yeah, just wait for your team, go in, and if they all die, always be aware of surroundings. Like, back out and wait for them to respawn, and then go back and try again. And after about 3 to 4 times of going in there and failing with your entire team, not just by yourself, then it's probably about the time to shoot the ship. I'll explain proper times to shoot the ship a little later, but yeah. If you want to get in at certain points in time, like a clutch time, like the end of the game, that's a good time to, like, maybe if you only have 2 other people with you, you gotta most likely just try to take your chances sometimes and at least kill somebody. And if you're in the AA and you get into a situation where you can't escape it, like, say your whole team dies, you're one person versus like 4 people. If you don't feel like you can back out of the AA and stay alive, like back out of it safely, then at least kill somebody and take somebody with you, because it'll help your team rather than just dying trying to run away. Like, at least run with a purpose. Or if you're not gonna run, then, you feel me, kill someone at least. Goddamn. But I don't know. And when you go to the EU station to get your EU, don't all go to the same EU. Like, that's one of the dumbest things you could do in this game, because if 3 people are sitting on one EU station, everybody's just getting EU extremely slow. Like, it's just going super slow, and the other team might come flank you, take your EU from you. So if you're in a game of 6 people, 3 people should separate and split up. And sometimes if you got more advanced players, they might flank and steal the enemy's EU, but that's whatever. If you really want to get some EU successfully back, then just go 3 to each EU station, because that's like, it'll guarantee, at least if you're not total scrubs, you can at least get 2 people back with full tanks. I mean, that's really pushing it if you only can get 2 people back. I mean, I would expect you to be able to get more than that back, but yeah. And if you have a full load of EU and you barely make it out of a situation or something, or you're going and you want to help your teammate and you feel like you got to help them because they're getting killed or something, evaluate the situation before you go help him. Like, if he's getting shot by one person, then your chances of going back and helping him are good, because, I mean, 2 versus 1, you could kill that person. But if he's getting like shot by 2 or 3 people, and you see his health bar going down, like, if he's getting fucking cream puffed don't go fucking kamikaze diving and helping his ass. Like, fuck him. I mean, it's sad to say it, but like, fuck him. Go deliver your EU, because at least he wouldn't die in vain because you wanted to go back and help him. Like, he won't die in vain if you go deliver the EU. At least somebody got something back. Like, don't make dumb decisions like that and just waste all your EU and then you don't have enough to launch. And basically, like, if you got a ship in the air, yeah, just if your ship is low, like you launch a ship, say you launch a ship and it's low, just go to the EU station before it actually blows up, because you'll have a jump on the enemy and you'll be ahead of them. And basically, by the time they get to the EU, you're more than halfway full of EU. And you don't have to always fill your EU tank all the way up. Like, if you pay attention, if you look at other people on your team's name and pay attention to how much EU they have, you can actually see like how much everybody has collectively. And if you notice, if y'all have enough to launch, you can just leave if your tank is even halfway full. Or if you count and add up everybody's EU and it's enough, you can message people in chat and tell them, let's deliver it, so everybody won't be wasting their time sitting there trying to fill their tanks. And yeah, and another big, this will probably get you yelled at the most. This is like one of the biggest things, is never, ever launch your ship if someone else has a ship in the air. Like, if the enemy has a ship in the air, never launch your ship, because you're basically just gambling your ship. Like, people do this all the time. I don't get, like, most people, they don't realize, I guess, maybe how to they don't know how to stop delivering EU. Like, when you go to the jump pad, I don't know, usually I think the default key is E, so you push E to start delivering EU. And basically a good time to stop is around, like, if you watch the meter at the top of your screen, you see where the EU meter is at the top to how much more you need to launch your ship. You wait till those numbers get to around about 50 and then just push E again. Or if you want to get a little closer, you can push it around 20, but literally, like, push E to stop delivering EU and go to the AA and try to get the other team's ship shot down. And then once their ship is shot down, you can just stay at the AA because your ship is about to launch. You don't have to go back and like put more EU in so your ship launches a little faster. Like, it doesn't matter if the whole thing, the main thing about Siege is position and timing. If you can beat the enemy to the punch, basically, like beat them to the AA, beat them to the EU stations, then even if the team could be like slightly better than you, or even like mildly better than you, you can still easily pull off a win. But I mean, I can't say the same for people that's like high skill, because I mean, matchmaking sometimes put you with people you shouldn't be in the lobby with. But if you just beat, it's all about timing. If you beat people places, then you have a way better chance of getting a win out of Siege. Like, and when you're at the AA, just hold it. Like, just hold it, come back straight to it. Don't lollygag around after you launch. After you respawn from dying. Don't do none of that. You're just hurting your team. You're not helping it. What else? Oh, and yeah, like I was saying earlier, when you're rushing the enemy, like, don't keep going the same way. Like, if you surround your enemy and flank them, like, they're going to be shooting all different types of ways. They're not going to be able to, they can't shoot everybody at the same time. And once you surround them, then it's easier for your teammates to help you kill them from different ways. And that's like the best way to get control of the AA, is just attack it from all different angles to get them off of it. And what else? Oh, what I was saying earlier, to never launch a ship when the enemy has a ship in the air. that means if you literally see the enemy ship go in there, like if you're both delivering, like if your team and the enemy, you see both of their EU bars to launch a ship going up really fast, you know somebody's delivering to you. So just watch that, and if you see the enemies going up faster and they're closer to launching and they seem like they're going to beat you to it, just stop delivering it, because most likely you're just going to launch it at the same time, and both teams are kind of at fault at that point. But you can be the smarter person and allow them to launch their ship. You can allow them to launch their ship or whatever and go, you feel me, take the AA, and then boom, your ship is going to launch right after, and hopefully you got a good position on them on the AA to where you can, you feel me, bounce right back from whatever. But the only time, basically I'm contradicting myself, like the only time you can launch a ship when the enemy has a ship, or only time you should launch a ship when the enemy has a ship in the air, if you're like anywhere under like 700 base HP. Base HP is basically the big numbers, whatever, that keeps going down like every time a ship is in the air. And I always remember that ships, I think, would it take like 30 seconds for it to actually start shooting your base after it's launched. Like it got to be halfway across the it moves halfway across or something like that, and it's like 30 seconds from launch that it before it starts attacking your base. So always keep that in mind when you're doing certain like launches. Like you still have time, even if you could have like 16 base HP, and if you can counter launch in time, then yeah, whatever. You probably should know that. But I mean, if you don't, you'll definitely encounter it sometime. But basically, the only time you want to counter launch ever, and the only time, is when you have less than 700 base HP. And anywhere over 300, if you have 6 people on the AA, if you got 300 base HP and you got 6 people on the AA and no enemies on the AA, you can shoot down the ship just by capturing the AA and standing on it. But 6 people literally have to stay on it, and it can't be like any enemies. At 300, you can kill a ship before you reach 0 and lose the game. And most people will know this, but if you look at the top of your screen, dead center, you'll see the letters AA, and there's a circle. When there's somebody in the AA, there's a circle that goes around, and when it completes that entire circle, you got to get it all the way around. Like if 2 people on the enemy team and 2 people on your team are on the AA, it's not going to move at all. And if 3 people on your team and 2 people on the enemy team is on it, then it's going to move real slow, but in your favor. So just keep that in mind, that if there's 0 people on the other team on it and you got a lot of people on it, it's going to go around fast. And just keep watching it and try to stay there until it goes all the way around. And actually, when it goes all the way around, it launches. But I mean, most people will know that, but some beginners might not. Just saying. But yeah, basically, counter launching, it takes some time to learn. But basically, you just want to only counter launch if you're under 700. And anywhere under 700, you want to try to get your ship launched before or with the enemy ship being launched. And sometimes even around like 1,000 base HP, if you feel as though the other team is good and you might not be able to take over the AA by the time it goes, your base HP goes all the way down, then you can either make the decision to counter launch or shoot the ship. But depending on how much EU you have, or how much EU you can get, you might either want to pick one of those options, but you got to be quick with it. Don't lollygag and fight around after the ship is down. Like if a ship is down, you should not be still shooting people in the AA. You should not be playing TDM inside the AA. If a ship, even if you're in middle engagement, and I mean you might be hungry for kills, but that's not what this game mode is about. Like you might be hungry, but you can literally leave an engagement with somebody. I mean they might follow you or chase you, but yeah, basically you got time to get where you need to be, get some EU. By the time they get there, you probably have like a half tank. Like I said earlier, you don't need a full tank to get back to base. Just look at everybody else's EU and see how much they got, and look at how much is left for the ship to be launched, and then take your EU in if you even need to. And basically just help out your teammates at the EU. Like you see somebody at the EU fighting, like try to help them out. The more people alive on your team that can get EU back, and the more dead on their team, on the enemy team, is better. Like the more dead on their team and the more alive on your team is both good things. Like yeah, just always pay attention to the meter, the EU meter when you're delivering. I said that earlier. Just watch it. It's your friend. When it gets around 50 or 30 or 20, push E or whatever button you got designated to deliver EU. But most likely, I think the default is E, so make sure you do that. And oh yeah, proper time to shoot the ship. Now, the only time you want to shoot the ship, like you'll see some people just shooting it randomly by themselves without any help. Like that is just not what you want to do. You're really hurting your team a lot more than you're helping it, like so much, because you don't understand that you're like wasting your bullets on the ship when you could be at the AA as an extra body helping your team. Because in this game, like 3 versus 4 is just people of equal skill level. 3 versus 4 is just slaughter for the lesser team that has lesser teammates with them. So basically, the more help your team needs, all the help it can get. And if you're sitting back wasting your time shooting the ship by yourself at a time where you're not supposed to even be shooting it, you're hurting your team. And always remember, the AA is the fastest way to shoot a ship down. Not shooting the ship. The AA shoots the ship down, can shoot it down in like, I don't know, maybe like 30 seconds. Shooting it maybe might take like 45 seconds to a minute, I don't know, depending on the health of the ship. The AA is the fastest way to shoot a ship down, not wasting your time shooting it with your mech. And also remember that when you're in the AA and all the enemies are dead, the way you can actually shoot the ship while standing inside of the AA, and that will get the ship shot down even quicker. But just always don't like have tunnel vision and not be still aware of your surroundings. Like somebody could just come and kill you while you're, you know, shooting up in the air. Just watch your surroundings at the same time while you're shooting the ship from the AA, because it'll definitely help get the ship shot down faster. Basically, when you want to shoot the ship, the only time you want to shoot it is if you die. If you and your team rush the AA a good about 3 to 5 times, or you can judge it yourself. If you feel like the team is just defense is impeccable and you're not gonna get in the AA and be able to take it over, like maybe dying 3 to 5 times or whatever you feel like it, that's a good time to shoot the ship. But when you shoot it, you want to assemble your entire team. You don't want to be sitting there shooting by yourself, because you're not going to do enough damage to get it down in a timely manner. Basically, like you can't do it by yourself to get it as fast as it should be gotten or whatever. Basically, you want to type in chat, or if the voice comes back, you want to say it over the mic. Tell everybody to shoot the ship and keep repeating it. Even like it might be a couple stragglers like that's hard-headed and don't want to help shoot it and want to run around and do their own thing, and they're just hurting the team themselves. So keep, you feel me, spamming in chat, telling people shoot the ship, and once everybody shoots it, you'll see it go down pretty fast. And if you got an incinerator class, that definitely will help knock the ship down really quick, because it takes, oh, you feel me, it takes heat away from other mechs, which allows your teammates to shoot faster. I mean, most people would know that, but some people might not. And even if you don't have an incinerator, type in chat and tell somebody to spawn with an incinerator, and I'm pretty sure somebody on your team's gonna have one. And basically, after you shoot it, look at the EU meters, and if your enemy's EU meter is around about, like, say half full, just go straight to the AA. Like, no matter what your EU meter on how much your next ship is to launch, just go to the AA. And if your base is over 300 HP, like if you're over 300 base HP and they have about half of their EU that they need to be delivered, just go straight to the AA, because you're gonna get the jump on them. And that's what you need to do. Like I was saying earlier, it's all about timing and beating your enemy to where they need to be. So after that, once you get there, if all 6 people are on the AA, the ship will get shot down like extremely fast. And like a lot of people just don't take that into consideration. I don't know. People just think they can just shoot around the AA. It's going to help. You literally need to stand in and look at the numbers at the top of your screen. The numbers that's for your team on your side shows how many, of course, that's in the AA on your team. The other one shows how many on the other team. Well, I mean, that's common sense. Like, but just if it's 6 people standing in it, the ship will go down extremely fast. And if people aren't standing in it, spam it in chat. And I mean, sometimes people still don't listen after you do that, but you gotta try as best as you can to get everybody to literally stand in the AA. And I think that's it. The biggest no-nos, I guess, to always remember is never launch your ship when the enemy has a ship in the air, and always be mindful of delivering EU so you won't accidentally launch when they launch, and just watch your EU. If you're really close to launching and they really close to launching, just be the smarter person and stop delivering EU and let them launch their ship. Go to the AA, try to beat them there, knock their ship down. You're already going to be at the AA, so yours is going to launch next. And don't shoot a full health. Another no, don't shoot a ship at full HP. Like, that's not a good thing to do. You're hurting your team. While you're wasting your bullets on the ship, you could be wasting it on enemy mechs, and you're not doing it because you're shooting the ship by yourself, which is a waste of time if everyone isn't doing it at the right time. And I think that's the biggest 2 things. And oh yeah, another thing, don't fight in the AA after. If there's no ships in the air, you should not be fighting at the AA, period. You should be either getting EU or delivering EU or stealing EU from the other team. What that means, it's flanking them and stealing, but that's more advanced. I mean, if you're not good at hitting runs, then I mean, you can practice it, but yeah. But yeah, that's basically it. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. MangYaLator, over and out. Add me in game. Subscribe, like it if you thought it helped you some. Or maybe it gives you a little hint on how to play Siege. I don't know. Hopefully it does. But yeah, it's MangYaLator, over and out.